Hi everyone. I know I've been missing for a while and I apologize for that. But getting the summer garden going now. Here in Central Virginia, so we are in zone 7B as far as your growing zone, which means our last frost should have been April 15th. Now granted, we did have a pretty heavy frost this morning, so a little past the April 15th date there, but that's always an average, so pretty much a week, sometimes 2 weeks either side of that number, you still have a chance of there being a frost. Last night we got down to about 30, 31, so not a real heavy frost, but definitely enough to bother some things. So waited till today to get some plants in the ground. I'm going to show you, so this is my new garden for this year. My garden at my house is just too shady, just too much deer pressure, isn't going to work. So this year I'm getting to go out with bigger space out at my family's farm and grow this, I'd say probably 50 by 60, maybe 70 foot plot here. So I'm going to show you what we have going on. So out here we have very sandy, kind of sandy loam soil. So you can see it's very dry right now. There is some moisture if you dig down in there, so you can see about an inch down it starts getting wet, so that's great. But we could use some rain. So I'm going to show you. We have, now this was broken up with a tractor, my dad's tractor. Not necessarily tilled. It was disked and then cultivated. It's an old enough tractor that we can't put a PTO tiller on the back of it. So what we have is what we have. So starting here, this first row is full of wildflower and zinnia seeds. And I just planted these last Friday, so nothing's coming up just yet. This next one I just planted in sunflowers, and I did 3 types of sunflowers. Your regular old big yellow sunflower, and then a red variety and a lemon queen variety. And then this next one is corn. So this is Silver Queen corn. We have 3 rows of that. Silver Queen is our family favorite. I know it's a hybrid, all that fun stuff, but it's what works best for us and what we like the most. So getting in an early crop of Silver Queen corn. We don't usually plant it this early, but we had the seeds, had the space, went ahead and did it. Soil temp today is reading 64 degrees, 4 inches down. I do have a soil thermometer. I can show you that and link it if you want. Last Friday, it was reading 68. So I'm hoping that's going to warm back up, because a lot of these seeds want 70, 75 degrees to really get a good germination rate. So like I said, 3 rows of corn. Then this next one here is, 4 rows of corn. This next one is empty, don't have anything in that yet. This next one is peppers, and then tomatoes down on the end. And I have, I don't even know how many types of peppers here. Let's see. So I started with jalapenos, then some poblanos, let's see, some pimentos, and some purple sweet peppers, red sweet peppers, and then I went into tomatoes. So a couple different varieties for me this year. This is a Mountain Fresh tomato. Really pretty plants, so we'll see how they do. All these plants I bought. I didn't mess with trying to do seeds this year. I don't have a great place to grow them, so it just doesn't make sense when I can get a good deal on them. These were a great deal. Better Boy tomatoes. Also great looking plants. Some Rutgers tomatoes. And then some Sun Golds, some Juliets, and a whole bunch of these La Roma tomatoes, which hopefully are going to be like Roma tomatoes or paste tomatoes. And then down here at the end, I have squash at the end of this one and seeds, zucchini seeds at the end of the next two. This row beside me is going to be marigolds. There are seeds already in there. I didn't mess with plants because honestly I couldn't find decent plants at a decent price. Everything is very expensive, and I already had seeds, so I went with that. This next row is potatoes. These are Yukon Gold potatoes, just starting to come up. They'll take a little bit. And then the next ones are peanuts. I have 2 rows of peanuts here. I don't know what variety of peanuts they're going to be, because honestly they were squirrel or bird seed. So they were at the garden center advertised for animal feed, but actual planting peanuts are so expensive and you only get a small quantity, that I took a chance. So we'll see how they do. If they don't come up, they don't come up. Then going forward, these are butter beans, and I have thorough green butter beans in this first half of these 2 rows, and then the end are Henderson butter beans, again by seed. We'll see how they do. These 2 are your classic Blue Lake green beans. We always have really good luck with them, so hopefully they'll do well and we can keep the deer out of them. This row is an empty row again, and then this last one is another wildflower Zinnia Celosia Rudbeckia mix. So we'll see how those do. And that's the main garden. I'll take you around and show you a little bit more. So up here I transplanted some wild black raspberries. Not doing too great because we haven't had enough rain, but some of them are hanging on. This one actually was going to bloom. Yeah, still have some buds on there, so might see some black raspberries. This is a one little baby red raspberry that I thought I had killed, but apparently not. Some grapes here. I have 4 different plants. Some of them are going to be purple grapes and some of them are going to be green grapes. I'm not sure which ones are which. Again, these were transplants that just were neglected where they were, so I've moved them and we'll see what happens. So moving a little further, I transplanted a few baby dogwoods. Some are looking better than others. I didn't realize dogwoods were kind of suckers that grew off of the main tree, so I found at my house I have a whole bunch of them, so I figured I would dig them up and give them a try. So I transplanted, I think, 5 or 6, and we'll see how they're doing. But I wanted to show you, so this is our little baby orchard that we have going on, but in the meantime I'll show you some other things. So if you look here on the ground, we have some really cool ground cover going on under these cedar trees, and it's about, I'd say probably 2 or 3 inches tall. These little tiny purple flowers, and they are just everywhere, and they're gorgeous. Because this isn't a full-time property, so no one lives here, we don't cut the grass as often as you would if it was your house. So we have buttercups, and we really have a natural meadow going on here. And I found this patch of yarrow. I have it blocked off so the guys don't cut it when they cut grass. But we'll see what it does. I don't know what color it's going to be or how it's going to go, but I found it and decided I was going to protect it. So if we move on over here to the orchard, we have a couple apple trees, which this one isn't doing too hot. It needed to be pruned heavier, and so I did do a little pruning last week and got it a little bit better, but I don't think it'll have any apples this year. Same with these 2 pears. They really needed to be pruned better than they were. Over here, This, I believe, is another apple tree. Same story, don't think we'll see anything off of that this year. This one, however, we do have some blooms. No real signs of little apples just yet. But definitely some blooms. Hopefully we'll get something out of that. I pruned that one pretty heavy. This is the one we're most excited about though. This is our damson plum, and you can see, if it'll focus, the little baby damsons on it. It actually has quite a few, and it's a very healthy looking tree. Same story, it could use some pruning, but then the blueberries are gorgeous. They don't seem to have minded the frost. There might be a little bit of damage. Tons of bees though, and butterflies. Oh, I missed it. If you look over here, there's 3 butterflies, which is pretty awesome and amazing. Pretty cool. The butterflies have been all over these bushes. These are 2 little new blueberries that I planted. They're going to be lower bushes, so they're not going to be up where we can pick them as easy, but that's okay. I think that's another damson right there, and maybe this one over here as well. Not sure. We'll have to see when they start growing a little bit better. But yeah, so that's the little baby orchard we have going on right now. Love to get some cherry trees, and I need to bring my peach over. But yeah, so that's where we're at. If you want to see another butterfly, this one's got a little wing damage there. But they're absolutely beautiful. There's one. Oh, there's another one. There's 3 right there. I don't know if you can see them. Actually 4. Another one just showed up. So definitely blueberries, wonderful for the bees and the butterflies. And I imagine hummingbirds as well. But yeah, so little bit of happiness there for you.